Welcome to another Put the Power Down video, and in this video we will be discussing, is it really worth modding your Mustang? Now me personally, I have a 2016 Deep Impact Blue V6 Mustang that is slightly modified, and I went ahead and decided that, well, since I'm slightly modified, I would like to see what, exactly what it feels like to be back in a stock vehicle. So today I do have a 2015 stock V6 Mustang, and what we're basically going to do, we're going to go ahead and see how my mods, or how at least the mods that I put on my car so far, how I really feel about those. And is it really worth modifying your Mustang, or is it really just the same as keeping it stock? Starting off with the outward appearance of this vehicle, it is of course not in the color Deep Impact Blue, and it obviously does not have the 401A package. That basically gave me a different set of wheels from the factory. Of course it gave me the fog lights, and it also gave me a small spoiler in the back, but actually not having the spoiler on the rear of this vehicle, I feel like it's kind of better, especially like me. I said I'm slightly modded, so I have looked at aftermarket parts, and there are a lot of spoilers that I would like to have that that would require drilling and would leave my pre-existing holes still shown if I had that, like the GT350R spoiler. So that probably would be good to have a car like this, with no spoiler back there. But other than that, just things that I've actually added onto my car personally. So I did starting off in the rear, I do have boiler axle back system, and just starting off with the sound of that. Actually, when I first turned on this vehicle, the first thing that I noticed was the actual sound of this vehicle, because it is so quiet compared to mine. Now I do only have the boiler S-type axle back system on my car, so it's not really even a loud system compared to the Attacks or something like that, or the Roush, but just compared to stock, it definitely is a lot louder. And mine, I feel like in a way really does unleash the rumble. I mean, just revving this thing up, there's definitely not much sound. I honestly feel like the stock exhaust in a way is just really restricted. The actual tone of the stock exhaust does sound good in my opinion, as far as how deep it is and whatnot, but it's just not loud enough, and I feel like a lot of people would agree with me with that. It's just that the stock exhaust does sound good, but like I said, it's just not loud enough. So that's one thing that I did do to my car, and I do feel like that was definitely worth it, was changing that stock exhaust. And talking more about the rear end of the vehicle, one thing that I definitely did do to my car was add the MMD rear diffuser for the non-premium package Mustang, so that of course could be the GT, EcoBoost, and definitely the V6, considering the fact that the V6 does not have your premium package option. So basically the rear diffuser, or there honestly is no rear diffuser back there, it's just basically the rear bumper, and it's color matched to the car, and in my opinion it doesn't really look that good. My car, I feel like I kind of had a little bit of leeway, or kind of a little bit of time to really avoid doing the diffuser for a while, because I guess the lighting in a way didn't really bring attention to it. But on this car, since it's being white, I definitely think that a rear diffuser on this thing is definitely needed, because it is kind of just really bland and really boring back there. Along with those stock exhaust tips, it doesn't really look good back there. The back end of this car, as far as I'm concerned, or at least in my opinion, isn't really that attractive, at least from stock. So I'm definitely happy that I did do the MMD rear diffuser. I really think it added something onto the back end, and looking at my rear diffuser from an angle, I definitely do think that you have a little bit of more aggressive back end back there. So I definitely would say that doing a rear diffuser, honestly, as a performance, or not really performance modification, but a visual modification, is definitely a must. And another thing I recently have done to my vehicle is I did lower it 1.3 inches all the way around, and I definitely do think it gives it a more aggressive stance. I definitely did talk about it in my vehicle, about how I feel like it kind of brings the front nose down, almost like the GT350 and stuff like that. Just really looks more aggressive as far as how the car sits. Now, even with this sitting on the different wheels from the factory, like I said, I do still have my factory wheels, because I have the 401A package on my vehicle. So there was basically two different options. That's the only really two different things that you can really get on the V6 Mustang. But I feel like even with these wheels, it kind of looks even worse with the stock stance. So I definitely would say that my just getting the 401A package helped me, but then also definitely lowering my vehicle definitely gives it that improved stance in my opinion. So I would definitely say that is definitely worth it. So now what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and take this stock Mustang V6 on the road, and I'm basically going to give you guys my driving impressions of really being in a stock Mustang for the first time in months, because I added stuff onto my car within 3 months of having it. So this definitely will be an interesting experience, seeing how the handling is, as far as because I just recently did my springs and whatnot, and definitely the power, because my vehicle does have the MPT 93 octane tune, the race tune that MPT has. I do have that uploaded on my vehicle, so I'll go ahead and tell you guys how it feels to really drive a stock Mustang V6. So we're gonna go ahead and get on the road here. So we're now setting off in the 2015 stock Mustang. I'm gonna go ahead and put the steering here in sport, and like I said, I do have the MPT race tune suspension on my vehicle, so this is all stock like I've already said. So I'm gonna go ahead and just simply start off by getting on the power here, and let's go ahead and see how it does. And it still moves stock. I mean, this thing it still gets up and goes, and especially with the 6-speed manual. If you've seen any of my other videos, I definitely will be the one to tell you that I feel like the Mustang V6 and probably the Mustang EcoBoost definitely do come more alive with the 6-speed manual that you can get. Now the automatics, you know, they are decent, but in my opinion, I just feel like the 6-speed manual definitely do add on to the experience, you know, make the car a little bit more peppy. Here, I mean, just getting onto it, this really just adds on to the driving experience, tripping the tires like I just did there. You know, this is still stock. But speaking on the difference of actually stepping back into a stock Mustang with the stock tune and everything, you know, it definitely is a little bit different. I feel like my car does pull a little bit harder at the top end, definitely. You know, going into third gear, you know, I feel like my car in a way just kind of keeps going, you know. I mean, it's not the biggest difference, but it definitely is you know, it's enough for me to notice. And another thing I did notice as I first got onto the power, and I'm noticing again now as I'm stepping onto the gas here again in first gear, is that the stock air intake, you know, does not have the deep sound like mine does have, because I do have a cold air intake on my vehicle. Now I do have the aerated cold air intake, and you know, it definitely does give a deeper sound as far as, you know, all the air sucking in, makes it, you know, really have, like I said, just a really much deeper sound. And this, and in my opinion, the stock air intake on this vehicle and on all V6 Mustangs, they kind of do have a more nasally tone on the high end. Now don't get me wrong, they definitely do still, you know, have great induction and whatnot, and you know, they definitely do their job of keeping the vehicle's air temperatures cold and whatnot. Actually, if you do go over to a cold air intake, you know, you do see a little bit of differences as far as temperature drop, but it's nothing major because the stock intake is actually pretty good for these vehicles. But just as far as sound goes, it definitely is a little bit more nasal. Like I said, I'm about to take a turn here actually, and now, like I said, I am lowered here, so I'm not going to take it too fast. I'm going to go ahead and see how, you know, it is driving a stock vehicle. And yeah, I was getting in the gas there a little bit, and you definitely can feel the body roll of this vehicle. Now, like I said, in my vehicle when I was lowering my car, it's not bad because the stock suspension from the factory does handle really nice. So these vehicles do handle really nice, but you do have a little bit of body roll, and definitely in my car, it's definitely, I mean, it's there, but like really small. And I definitely did eliminate more body roll by adding those springs into my car. And just gonna go ahead and get onto the power here one more time. It still chirps, and it's still fun to do that. And just going in third, and see going into third right here, it kind of just really lost power. In my vehicle, it does not do that, because like I said, I do have the tune there. But you know, it's still peppy. But I mean, I feel like I also do have more torque, and that's probably one of the biggest things that a lot of 3.7 owners will tell you. They will tell you that this vehicle really does need more torque in their opinion, especially just going around town. Has tons of horsepower, definitely the horsepower is fine. And the EcoBoost owners, they definitely do have the advantage of having 320 pound-feet of torque from the factory, I believe, compared to the V6 Mustang, which is 280 pound-feet of torque. So you know, that is one thing I also can notice and can feel, is that my vehicle does have more torque. Also, when I was getting on gas, yet again right there, I can definitely tell that the vehicle was squatting a little bit more than mine does. Like I said, I'm on those springs, and honestly, those springs really have changed my vehicle now that I'm really, you know, driving a stock vehicle and able to really think about, you know, how they make my vehicle feel as far as, you know, handling and whatnot. Like I said, I have very minimal body roll. These things still handle great from the factory, but you know, they could improve, and definitely lowering your vehicle would help the handling of it. So wrapping up my time with this stock 2015 V6 Mustang, I definitely will tell you guys that it is an interesting experience, you know, getting back into a stock vehicle with the stock tune, stock suspension, and of course some, you know, visual stuff that's not on the outside of this vehicle that I have. So like, of course, I have the 401A package, but like I said, just overall, just getting back into a stock vehicle definitely is an interesting experience with the power and whatnot. You know, like I already mentioned, I don't think this thing, you know, I definitely feel the torque loss here and there. And you know, it also is a reminder of how good these cars are from the factory as far as handling and whatnot. Like I said, there is a little bit more body roll, but you know, it still really is, you know, a nice handling car. You know, everyone will tell you that who owns these cars, that from the factory they really are nice. So overall, what I say, it's worth modding your Mustang. Yes, depending on who you are. In my personal experience, I would definitely say that it's worth it. Like I said, with the sound of this Mustang, I definitely feel like that it's worth it. I mean, like I've already said, there's not really much sound here. I'll just rev it up again. You know, that you get a little sound, but honestly from the factory it's not much sound, especially exhaust. So you know, definitely speaking in that terms, I would definitely say adding an exhaust to your Mustang is definitely worth it. But overall, you know, I'd say, you know, you still get a nice experience either way. I do feel like you're improving your experience if you do add some modifications, and you definitely are making the car more, you know, personal or more of yours in a way. Basically, not something that you can still buy from the dealer. So basically, you're kind of personalizing it and making it something that's really truly yours. So, you know, that is definitely a big benefit of modifying your car. But other than that, guys, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this. You know, I definitely did enjoy this experience, you know, seeing how far my car has come and whatnot. If you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a like on the video. You know, hit the bell notification, that way you know when I post more content. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and drop a comment down below. Go ahead and let me know exactly, you know, what your future plans are if you have any car actually. But definitely let me know what your plans are for your V6 Mustang or Mustang in general. You know, just let me know what you guys think I should do to my Mustang. Like I said, I'm still adding stuff onto my car, so definitely drop a comment down below, and I'll catch you guys in another video.